Hi, I'm Katrina. I am the owner of Peanut and Poppet, the cloth nappy shop, and today we're going to unlock the secret to cloth nappies. So stick with me if you want to know everything there is to know about cloth nappies. This is your full beginner's guide. We're jumping straight into this because this is everything you need to know about the types of cloth nappies. This is where we're going to start. There are 5 main types of nappies. They are the pocket nappy, which is the most popular option, the all-in-one nappy, which is another popular option and the easiest option for many people to use, the all-in-two, which is a very economical system and can save you a fair amount of money. And then there's fitted nappies, which are predominantly used overnight and have mega absorbency, and flat nappies such as terry squares that you might think of as the thing your gran used to use, and they are by far the cheapest and sometimes most reliable option out there. So let's get started with the pocket nappy. So the pocket nappy, as it suggests, has a pocket in it. And now let's see what on earth that actually means. So most of the nappies are going to come with a popper waist fastening. And inside of a pocket nappy, you have 2 parts. You have the pocket nappy itself. This is what I would call the shell of the nappy. It is lined with a fleece or athletic wicking jersey or something, and this keeps your baby feeling dry. Most nappies will come with this built in. This nappy has a pocket opening, so that's why it's called a pocket nappy, funnily enough. So this is the back end of the nappy. When you put it on, you bring it between the legs, and this is the front and this then is the back. So what you get with this nappy is the pocket part and an insert part. So with a pocket nappy, you're going to need to place your inserts inside of the shell in order to make it work. So that's really simple. All you do is lay your inserts down the end of your arm, and then you're going to open up this pocket at the back, gripping on to your inserts here with your hand. You're going to just stuff that into the back. So we're going to go all the way down to the front part of the nappy, and when you get to here, you just want to pinch everything to keep those inserts in place and then pull your arm back out of the nappy. You can just wiggle it about to make sure everything's nice and flat, but it's a really simple process. And this now means that your nappy is ready to use. At this point, this nappy is super simple to get on your baby. It looks inside very similar to a disposable nappy. So all you're going to be doing is slipping this under the bottom, bringing it between the legs, and then fastening around the waist. So that's what a pocket nappy is. Now, some pocket nappies might have a double-ended pocket. That means that there will be a pocket at the front and at the back. So there'll be 2 openings, mostly because some people like to pop it in and then be able to lift this front pocket to grab it and hold it in place as they pull it out. Sometimes they also have a little popper inside that you can secure the insert onto. But honestly, this is the simplest of nappy systems. It means that you can remove the inserts for washing and drying. So when your baby is finished with the nappy, you need to remove those inserts to wash and dry them. But that also means that this is a much faster drying nappy than an all-in-one, because these are separate. So you get more airflow around the inserts, which means faster drying times. So you kind of get like the best of both worlds. The only downside is that once they are dry, you do need to put the nappy back together again. But generally speaking, this is the most popular nappy style on the market. So now let's look at all-in-one nappies. So this is our all-in-one nappy. Inside, you're going to have a very similar setup, but the inserts are going to be sewn in either to both ends or one end, and that is why it's called an all-in-one nappy. Everything is sewn into one easy piece. So this is the Lighthouse Kids all-in-one nappy. This one's very unique actually. The inside of it folds out. That helps with the drying time, because as a general rule, all-in-one nappies are slower drying nappies. They are super simple to use, but that just comes with the inability to take all of the pieces apart and dry them quicker. So these guys have designed the insert so that it folds out. Just when you dry it, it's just much quicker than having to dry like a thicker piece of material. So this is all sewn in together. None of this comes apart. This is why it's called an all-in-one nappy. When you're popping this onto your baby, it's really, really simple. Again, this just goes to the back of the bottom, up between the legs and fastening. Some all-in-one nappies do look a little bit different, where the absorbency part of it is sewn into both ends. So I'm just going to grab another type of nappy and show you that now. This right here is a Little Love Bum all-in-one nappy. This is actually one of our most go-to recommendations for the simplest of nappies, and a lot of times our go-to recommendation for someone who wants a nappy to take to childcare. So let's look inside. Inside, everything again is sewn into one easy piece. Now with this, it's sewn into both ends. Unlike the other all-in-one, which had an insert that came out to help with drying speeds, this is sewn in both sides. It does lift up from the cover just a little bit to allow any extra boosters and to allow a little bit more of a quicker drying time. So this is the everyday nappy that Little Love Bum do, and it comes with two inserts, so you can see the two separate parts there, but they're sewn in all the way around, and this just makes it so easy for anybody to use. When you have it around, there's no bits and pieces that are going to fall out. If your partner or childcare or whoever is going to be using this nappy, it's going to be the most simple design and the most similar to a disposable nappy. So if you're used to a disposable nappy, this is the one for you. If you're thinking, my gosh, cloth is going to be so complicated, I don't know what everything means, pick yourself up a nice easy all-in-one and figure out how simple it is to put this on your baby. Now next up on our list is to talk about all-in-two nappies. So whereas the all-in-one nappy was all in one piece, the all-in-two nappy is all in two pieces, as the name suggests. This is a Little Love Bum snap and wrap system. This is the cover that you'll get, and then you can add absorbency. Little Love Bum do these amazing trifolds, which are super absorbent. What happens here is you have your cover, and inside, rather than having anything sewn in, it's nothing. This is literally just for waterproofing. What you then need to do is add some absorbency to this. Now, the Little Love Bum trifolds are fantastic, and they have a little popper. So if you can see the little popper here, and inside the cover, underneath this tummy flap, they've got a little snap that it attaches to. This just helps with keeping the insert in place during nappy changes and when your baby is wearing it. So what you're doing is just tucking that flap over the top, and then again at the back there's another flap, and you just tuck the insert all the way underneath. Once you're all set up like this, you can see how it does look really similar to the other nappies. So it's not a hard system to use, it's just a little bit different in that there are separate pieces that need putting together. So this is going to be the system with perhaps the most amount of parts, and will need more putting together than the other systems. However, these come into their own with affordability. So with an all-in-two nappy like this, when the waterproof cover is clean after a change, all you do is take out the dirty insert and replace it with a new insert. You don't need to change this outer cover every single time you change a nappy. This is really clever because it means that rather than buying, say, 20 entire nappies, you'll need a handful of wraps and then just 20 inserts. So you can reuse this wrap up to about 4 times, we recommend, with a fresh insert each time. Now if this gets soiled or the elastics around the leg feel damp or wet, then we don't recommend reusing it. But generally speaking, you're going to be able to go through about 4 changes, only needing to just snap in a new insert and off you go. This is going to be a great option for you if you want less washing, if you want to spend less on your cloth nappies, because this is a more affordable system, mainly because you're not having to buy so many different parts, and if you want something that's going to take up less space. So when it comes to your changing bag, you might need to take out all of this if you were going out and about for a day, but if you're using this system, all you would need is a couple of these and then you would be set for the day. So it does take up a lot less space and a lot less washing and things, so it's great for that purpose. And we really love all-in-twos. They're not the most popular system, but they're fantastic at what they do. What I will just point out is that with the Little Love Bum snap and wrap system, it does have that popper underneath to keep everything in there from moving around and shifting. However, not all systems have that. Some systems are literally just a wrap, so this outer part, and then you just lay the insert in loose. And that's absolutely fine. Honestly, once it's on your baby, you won't get a lot of shifting around or anything like that. And it's quicker to just lay it in and go than it is to have to snap it in. But that's going to be about personal preference, but they all do have the same way of working with an all-in-two. Next on our list of things to talk about is a fitted nappy. So this is our 4th type of nappy we're going to go over. And this nappy looks exactly like the others, but all of this is absorbency. So whereas in the other nappies you just have the insert between the legs, this whole thing is absorbent. It's super cute and fluffy. This is the Easy Peasy Bum Ball nappy, really highly rated. It's got loads and loads of absorbency, and this is the type of nappy that we would suggest you use at night. Because it has so much absorbency, this is going to be fantastic at getting you through those like 12-hour periods overnight where you're not doing nappy changes. So this kind of nappy has no waterproofing over the top of it. This is just everything that will provide absorbency. So with a fitted nappy like this, you're going to need a wrap or a cover. The 2 words are interchangeable. Whether you call them a wrap or a cover is honestly up to you. They mean the same thing. So this, very similar to an all-in-two, is just the waterproof cover. All you're going to be doing is popping this nappy onto your baby, securing around the waist, and then over the top of that, you're going to be putting your cover on to provide the waterproof layer so that you don't get any leaks or anything. Now, once it's all together, you're not going to be seeing this inside part. All you're going to be seeing is the gorgeous print that's on your cloth nappy, and that's going to provide you waterproofing all night long so you can have a hopefully peaceful night's sleep from your little one. Now, all of the fitted nappies are relatively the same. They all have tons and tons of absorbency. A lot of them are made from bamboo, but you can get other materials as well. Just like the nappies themselves, they come in all different material options, which we can go through in a moment. So this particular fitted nappy has a full fleece lining. So this here, let's get the back of the nappy for you, the front even. This is a fleece material. So it's a very thin fleece material, and this provides all of your stay dry feeling. Not all of the nappies come with this. Some of them, like the Little Lamb Bamboo, come with a separate stay dry liner which you need to lay inside. Some of them are built in like this. Just check when you're buying what kind of system you're getting. This is fully fleece lined. It's one of our absolute favourite nappies for nighttime, because even the wing here that goes around the side of your baby is fully lined and stay dry feeling. So your baby isn't going to be feeling any wetness overnight that's going to make them uncomfortable or interrupt that precious sleep. This particular one has a insert that comes out. That helps with drying time. So unfortunately, fitted nappies just are the slowest drying option because they have so much absorbency. And in all honesty, it's not much of an issue because you are generally only using them at night time. If you're using them in the day, then you're gonna need slightly more in your stash to be able to get you through drying times. But normally 3 or 4 of those will see you through washing and drying. They normally take about 2 days to dry. In the summer you can get them dry in a day, and there are things like dehumidifiers that you can use to speed up your drying process. So that is a fitted nappy, and let's just have a quick look at what a liner would look like if your nappy didn't come with any stay dry feeling. So I've got with me here a pack of the must-have, very, very popular fleece liners from Little Lamb. These come in a big packet. So let's just whip one out for you and have a look at them. All a liner is a square, rectangle, piece of material that is a kind of fleece or other stay dry material. And this means that wetness goes through, but then it doesn't come back up. It's a one-way system. So when your baby has a wee, the wee will go through the fleece liner and into the absorbency underneath, but it won't come back out. So it's only going in, which is why it creates that stay dry feel. It's wicking away or pulling away the moisture into whatever you have underneath, and then leaving your baby's bottom nice and dry, which is one of the main things that parents really, really love. So if your nappy doesn't come with a stay dry layer, you can have all natural materials against the bum. So against the skin, you could have hemp, you could have bamboo, and you could have cotton. They would be absolutely safe against the skin. The only thing that isn't safe against skin is going to be microfiber. So if you have any exposed microfiber, you need to make sure you're providing some kind of layer between the microfiber and your baby's bottom, because microfiber is very irritating to the skin, especially over a prolonged period. You know, when you have microfiber, it kind of catches on the skin and it draws out a lot of moisture, which can leave your baby irritated. That's why you don't want that one directly against the skin. But if you have natural materials and you don't want them to have a wet feeling, then add a liner. And these are also going to be fantastic at helping you when it comes to weaning, and you're going to need to do something about the poo. So these are going to be your friend. A lot of people absolutely swear by liners to make the cleanup easier, but definitely if you have a night nappy that doesn't have any built-in stay dry, make sure you grab a pack of these. Now, last upon our list is going to be flat nappies. These are a much more traditional style of nappy, something that you perhaps think of as something your gran would have used or your mum might have used on you. These are squares of fabric like this. They tend to be 60 or 70 centimetre squares of fabric, and you're basically folding them into the shape of a nappy and then popping them onto your baby. This is a bamboo terry, so this is super soft and has absolutely loads and loads of absorbency. This is going to be a great option for night times if you don't have the best drying facilities. So if you were in a flat, for instance, or you didn't have any garden space, or it was just kind of cold wherever you're living through the winter and things, these are a fantastic option for nighttime, and you can use them in the day as well. But for nighttime especially, they are going to give you heaps and heaps of absorbency, the same as a fitted nappy, but because they come out into this flat, thin piece of material, this is going to dry much faster for you. So a fantastic option for a faster drying but still super absorbent nappy. Let's look at what you need to do to get this onto your baby. One of the easiest folds to do is a kite fold. So you want a point like a diamond, and then you're going to bring the two outer sides into the center. That'll create this kind of aeroplane shape. Then you just fold down the top part and you have a triangle. That's basically it for folding, and there are heaps of folds that you can do. Check back on our other videos to find tutorials on all the different folds you can do with flat nappies. Today I'm just going to show you how to put this onto a baby. So all you need to do is bring this up between the legs and then fold these extra parts over around the waist. That will give you a nappy. So you can see how that kind of comes into a nappy shape. You would tuck it around the legs and things to make it nice and neat. But that would then be your nappy. Now obviously you're thinking, well, that's not going to stay put, it's a big piece of fabric. So what we need is a nappy fastener. Now nappy fasteners are these little grippers. You can see they have these teeth on them. That grips into the fabric at 3 different points. And that means that everything stays together. So let's just show you how you put this on. So once you have your nappy shape here, all you need to do is grab your nappy fastener, and you want it in this T shape or kind of Y shape, it depends how you look at it. And you need to put one of the corners onto the corner of your nappy, stretching it across to the other hip. And then you'll have one last piece here which goes down between their legs and secures the bottom. So after all of that, it will look something like this. Obviously it will all be gripped onto the fabric and it will be on your baby, and that's what makes a flat nappy stay in place. There are also flat nappies that are a little bit thinner, and these are kind of perfect for like your daytime alternative. And you can see that this is a bit thinner than a terry square. And this will dry super fast within a couple of hours. And this is a bird's eye cotton flat. You fold it in exactly the same way, but you can also do a fold with both of these flats that's even easier and requires no pinning or anything. So we're going to fold it in half and then fold it in half again. So you've got a smaller square, and then all you're going to do is fold that into 3 pieces. Now this looks like an insert that you would use in any cloth nappy, and that can lay inside your cover, which I'll just go and show you. So I've got that insert there I folded up. This is the cotton flat folded in to what we call a pad fold. And then we've got the covers that we had earlier, and whichever cover you choose is exactly the same. You're going to want one of those fleece liners to go with this, because flat nappies don't have any stay dry layer, and most people will want to provide their baby a stay dry feeling. So all you do is pop your fleece liner on top of your flat nappy, and then you can just lay that inside any cover or wrap that you like. So just like we did earlier with the all-in-two nappy, you're laying it in like that and you're good to go. So that's how you can make the cheapest system ever for cloth nappies, and also the fastest drying. These are going to be fantastic for you if you live in a flat, or if you're in a cold part of the world where you're not really getting the greatest drying weather, or it's just winter here in the UK, which is pretty miserable sometimes, and you need something super speedy drying. That's a great option. That's all the different types of nappies covered, and at this point you probably have a really good idea of what type of system is going to suit you and your family's lifestyle best. If you're not sure, then I'll leave the link below, and please get in touch via our personalised advice questionnaire. You pop in a few quick and simple details and I will come back to you with a personalised plan just for you that should suit you down to a T. So if you're still unsure, make sure you click the link and fill in your advice questionnaire. There's also the beginner's guide linked down there, which is another fantastic resource that you can use to get your head around all the different parts and processes of cloth nappies. Let's move on to fastenings around the waist. So one thing you'll notice about cloth nappies is most of them have these poppers, and what you're probably used to seeing is something more similar to this, where you have a kind of Velcro system. So just pull and stick, which is what disposable nappies have. Now poppers are actually more popular in the world of cloth nappies, but Velcro does exist. So here's the kind of pros and cons. With poppers, they're harder for toddlers to undo. So number one, they're also going to be your most popular choice. So you're going to have more variety of options that you can use to cloth nappy that have poppers. And they are an easier system to wash. So what I mean by that is that the con of Velcro really is that Velcro sticks to things in the wash. So what you need to do is when you wash your nappy, so once you've taken this off of your baby and you've gone through the whole nappy change procedure, you need to make sure that you are sticking this Velcro down to your laundry tab. So you're just folding it over and sticking that Velcro down. If you don't do that with Velcro, you're gonna get a huge tangle in your washing machine, and quite possibly your Velcro is going to snag on something else and can cause damage. So really important feature with Velcro is to make sure that you're sticking it down after use. That's really a con of Velcro, and the other con would be toddlers can easily undo them. So sometimes when you get to that point where they're just starting to gain that independence, you can sometimes think that's a time to switch to poppers if you haven't already. Now, the great advantage of Velcro is that it's super easy to learn. Everybody knows how to use Velcro. All you're doing is pulling around and sticking it where it feels best. And it's also going to be a great option for childcare, grandparents, anybody that's new to cloth and just not sure what they're doing. And the other thing, of course, is if you have any mobility issues, if you have arthritis in your hands, something like that, then Velcro is going to be an easier option for you. That's much more adjustable than poppers. So poppers, they have set placements on the waist. Now, don't get me wrong, poppers are absolutely fantastic and my personal preference. But sometimes you might be in between where the cloth nappy kind of fits best. Whereas with Velcro, you can fit it anywhere across. With poppers, you're limited to the poppers that are already preset on here. It's never really an issue for anybody, but I just want to point that out as one of the disadvantages of having poppers on the waist. What I want to show you here quickly is the actual poppers that come on your waist tab. So you've got 3 here. You can see you've got 2 in line at the top and 1 kind of offset at the bottom. This is called your hip stability popper, and it basically just means that when your nappy is on, the fabric that's inside doesn't shift about or go anywhere, and it just keeps everything nice and tidy. So what you're going to have is your hip stability popper, which pops into the bottom row across the top. And then you're going to have these 2 poppers here that go across the waist. And that's literally it. Once your nappy is fastened, it's going to look something like this. So you'll have your waist and your hip popper here that keeps everything together. And they are actually really easy to use, so don't be put off by poppers at all. They are a really simple system. I'm bringing you really up close and personal for the next part because this is all about the rise snaps. Most nappies are going to be a adjustable nappy option. There are only a few that aren't. And these snaps across the front here, they adjust the length of your nappy. So you have a popper here that sticks out and a popper here, here and here that it fits into. So this is the biggest setting of a nappy. This is going to be suitable for a toddler. When you're gearing up to potty train, you're going to be on this setting with everything open as it is. When you have a very small baby, this popper here is going to be all the way at the bottom. And now these are called your rise snaps. So let's snap it down and show you how it works. And this is where the adjustable settings come into their own. A cloth nappy stash is going to see you from around £10 until potty training, and honestly it's one of the absolute best features of cloth nappies. You only need 1 set and you're done. That's it. You don't have to go up sizes. So whereas disposable nappies will have size 1, size 2, size 3, we're all about just 1 nappy that will see you through everything you need. So this is the shortest setting. You can see now that none of those poppers are visible because I've made this as short as is possible. It's narrowed up the leg holes for a smaller baby and it's made it shorter for a smaller baby. As your baby grows to about 1 year old, you're going to be expecting to go up your first rise setting. All this means is that you're unsnapping that part of the nappy to expose one level of rise snaps, and now you're on the next setting up. This is a little bit taller. You'll expect this to be on a baby who's perhaps 1 year old, 18 months, maybe even 2 years, depending on the size of your baby. Once you get to the point where they feel like they're getting a bit too small, you're going to go up another rise setting. So this is now exposing 2 of those poppers. So they're both exposed, and this is a slightly larger setting again, slightly larger leg holes and a little bit longer for a baby that's probably 18 months to 2, something like that, 2.5 maybe. Again, this is very dependent on every baby's individual body shape. Now, when you're gearing up to potty train, for most children is about 2 to 3 years old. That's when you're going to have the nappy fully open. You've got the much larger leg holes and a lot more length in the nappy. That's going to fit a child who is about 2 to 3 years old. And that's what those rise snaps down the front are. So the first 2 were for the waist, and then all of these here are to adjust the length of your nappy. And that's rise snaps. What we're going to do now is use our demonstration doll called Poppy, and we are going to show you just how to put this nappy on. Now this doll is going to be a couple of months old, so we're going to get those rise snaps down to the bottom and see how that fits her. So we're going to grab the back half of the nappy just like normal. We need to lift the legs, slide it under the bottom, and you're really looking to have this nappy very low down. So this nappy is going to come just above her bottom and sort of in line with the hips. That's where you expect to fit a nappy. So you've got that there. Then you're going to bring the front between the legs. You can do a gentle kind of pinch here just to form it into a bit of a C shape so that it goes between the legs nicely. We're then just going to flatten this band across the top of her waist. So we want this band to sit nice and flat. And with the hips here, we're going to pull this up towards the armpit to loosen any slack around the legs. And we're going to bring that over, securing first the hip snap and then the 2 waist snaps. What you need to do is make sure that you don't have any gaps and that this nappy elastic is right into the groin. So what we can do is, as we're fitting the nappy, we can just bring out the baby's leg, wiggle it all the way in, put the baby's leg down, and then go ahead, pull that slack out of the back up towards her armpit, and then secure it across the waist. So you should have no visible gaps and it shouldn't be too tight. You want to be able to run your finger through there without too much resistance, but you also don't want it gaping around the leg. What I've done on this side is leave it a little bit too loose. So you can see here that this is just not tight enough and you're probably going to get some leaks out of there. So all we need to do is readjust. We're going to wiggle that into the groin line, also known as the knicker line. Pull it up towards her armpit, straight across her waist, and not pulling it too tight. We just want it to naturally lie wherever it feels best. That's a much better fit on her where the leg hasn't got a hole here. It just feels nice and comfy around the elastic line. When she sits up, she's got a lovely band here across the front this fabric you want to just tuck up inside. So you might have your fabric sitting downwards like this. So you can see how your finger goes in that way. What you want to do is hook your fingers inside and push it up to the top. And now you can see you've got that lovely band across the top. And that gives you the nice fit. Around the tummy here, you want a decent gap. So you want to be able to fit 2 fingers in there to keep that nice and comfortable. The thing about disposable nappies is they fit very tightly on the tummy because they don't have very good elastics, whereas cloth nappies are fantastic. They have the best containment and you really don't need a tight tummy. All you need is this amazing back elastic here, which will keep everything contained for you. And that's how you're going to get an awesome fit with cloth nappies. If you're wondering which type of nappy is best for you, make sure you fill in our cloth nappy questionnaire. I'll link it down below and we'll be able to get you on the right track as to which of these systems is going to be the best option for your needs. Now, the question comes up a lot about how many nappies you need. And the general rule is about 20. Now, I've done a separate video on that, so I can link that down below for you as well. Check that out and that'll go through the details of everything that you'll need and how much you'll need of it. The next thing we're going to talk about is just what to do when you're out and about with cloth nappies. Most of us are thinking, isn't it going to smell in my bag? What am I going to do with the messy nappy? Should I use cloth when I'm out and about? Well, we have wet bags. You probably already know about this, but this is a wet bag and it's basically the same material as nappies. It provides that waterproofing or high water resistance material that will mean your nappy is dirty and can go in here and will keep everything else in your bag from getting messy. It'll also help to contain smells, and honestly, you won't notice smells when you're out and about with them, so don't worry about that. What do you do with it though? So you'll have a wipe, you'll have a nappy, you'll have cleaned your baby off. Simply pop your nappy inside. I like to advise pulling out the inserts at this point if you have any inserts to pull out. Pop them in and just pop your nappy inside a wet bag. So you'll have a large pocket opening on your wet bag. Just put everything inside, close it up and don't worry about it. Now, if you have changing facilities where there is a toilet, you can remove any poo if you're weaning at that stage. And if not, then you can fold it up securely and then deal with that when you get home. You're dealing with it anyway at home, so don't worry. By this stage, you'll know what you're doing. So that's a wet bag. Everything in there is nice and secure and it will keep your other items in your change bag from getting any kind of mess. There's also a front pocket on this particular style, so if you want to put anything in the front pocket like clean wipes and then dirty in the back, or a clean nappy in the front, dirty in the back, you can do that. Or if you are having to wait to deal with poo when you're at home, it's a nice idea to tuck any dirty nappies in the front and then wet in the back, so that when it comes to cleaning, you're not dipping your hand into a surprise. Now, the last point I want to touch on is washing. This is one of those things that will divide people, and it really doesn't need to be complicated. If you've looked into washing cloth nappies, you might be going, what on earth is all of this? There's lots of steps and things like that. We don't do that at Peanut and Poppet. We're all about the simple, easy life and making sure that it's a way of living that's actually sustainable for you. So if you're a busy person, you're not going to want to wash every day, or you might not need to wash every day and it's just like an unnecessary step. So we make things really, really simple. We have a wash guide on the website, which I'll make sure I link below, and you'll also find that in our beginner's guide, which is linked below. The washing process is literally 2 steps. You have all of your dirty nappies stored in your nappy pail. You empty it into the washing machine, and the washing machine is doing all of the work. There is no scrubbing, there's no soaking, there's no boiling nappies. We're not about that old-fashioned lifestyle anymore. We're here in modern times where we have modern technology. So put everything into the washing machine, set your washing machine to a quick wash, normally something like a daily 30, and pop it on. That's it. You just let it run a quick wash, about 30 minutes or so, and that's just to rinse through the worst of any soiling that's in there. Step 2 is the main wash, and this is literally just a cottons wash. So it is a long wash, and that's what's going to really deep clean your nappy. So you're looking to have a cottons wash, not any eco settings, just a normal cottons wash, and it will be either 40 or 60 degrees depending on the detergent that you're using, and then a full dose of powder detergent. If you can use powder, then it does provide a more accurate and cleaner solution. If your baby has allergies or something and you need to use a liquid and you're not sure what to do, then get in touch and we'll go through that with you. But you need a full dose of detergent, and what that means is having a look at your brand guide. There will be a guide on the side of your box, and you'll need to adjust it for maximum soiling, because nappies are the dirtiest thing going through your washing machine, so you need maximum soiling. You'll also need to adjust it for your water hardness. So some of you will be in soft water, some of you will be in medium or hard water. You'll all need different amounts depending on your water hardness. So soft water needs less detergent and hard water needs more detergent. And then you're also going to adjust it depending on the size of your washing machine. So obviously if you have a 5 kilo washing machine, you're not going to need as much detergent as someone who has a 10 kilo washing machine. So those are the 3 things that you're basing it on, and you want a full dose of detergent to get your nappies squeaky clean. After that, just hang them up and dry them. That's it. So it's only 2 steps. You really don't need to make life any more complicated than it already is. And we're doing that every 2 to 3 days. We're not doing that every day unless you really want to. If you're someone who wants to have a smaller stash of nappies and wash every day, you can, but you don't need to. So don't worry about daily pre-washes. You can pre-wash and main wash on the same day. That's it. I hope you found this really helpful. Links are down below for everything you need that we've spoken about in the video. Find us on our other social media channels. I am over on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Pinterest, and I'm also on a blog, so you'll find me everywhere. It's just Peanut and Poppet. Come and say hello, and make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel to be up to date with all the content. Click your notification bell and you'll be notified every single time that I upload a video. There's lots of more super helpful content on the way, so make sure you check it out. Bye!